Well, a tough day here for the Liberty Flames in West Long Branch, New Jersey, as the Monmouth Hawks come out on homecoming weekend and take this one from Liberty 56-39, the final score, alongside Kevin Keys here at Kessler Stadium. My name is Nick Pierce, and the Flames got off to a good start offensively. They scored a touchdown on their opening drive, but it was all Monmouth after that before the Flames made a run at it in the second half. But Kevin, kind of like a little bit like last week against Kennesaw State, too little too late.
Yeah, when you get behind that much late in the game or into the second half and you have to come back, the margins are so thin. You make one mistake, you fail to convert on a third or a fourth down, and all of a sudden the clock is against you and you just can't come back. And the Flames found themselves in that position again this week, and they were unable to come back and get the victory here against Monmouth. The home team in this series has won every one of the 5 games that have been played. The home team wins every one of them.
Yeah, that trend continued here today as Monmouth comes away with the win. Looking at some of the leaders for the Hawks, 244 passing yards today for quarterback Kenji Bahar, but the running game was really where they made their bread and butter. 364 yards rushing and 5 rushing touchdowns today for the Hawks, who put up over 600 yards of offense. Afterwards, we had a chance to catch up with head coach Turner Gill and some of the Flames players for their reaction.
We got ourselves in the hole. You cannot play the first half like we played, particularly on the defensive side of the ball there. We didn't tackle very well. We didn't have everybody in our gaps as they did a great job of running the football, and our linebackers and our D-line didn't do a very good job. We saw we corrected, made a couple of adjustments there as far as our alignment on the defensive side, and we played better in the second half. So we got to do that sooner. Offensively, and again, we started out good, but we didn't have no consistency. Again, the second quarter, we weren't able to maintain the things we needed to do. I'm proud of the defense. They ended up getting some turnovers for us there in the second half. The special teams, obviously that first touchdown we scored on offense, and then they scored on a kickoff return there, and that hurt us big time. But again, we got some things, some positive things, but we got some things we got to work on. So right now, this football team got to continue to execute better, particularly early in the game.
At the end of the day, we just have to, stay focused with who we got. It's going to be a little different with different guys up there in our front and everything. But when offensive coaches see that, they're going to try to attack it just to see how it is, so they don't have to do so much. But with our guys, they stepped up. They did a great job to get turnovers and get us back in the game. But at the end of the day, we can't wait too long as players. Coaches don't have nothing to do with that, because at the end of the day, coaches don't win or lose games. It's the players that got to execute the plays to get a stop to win or lose the game. So, we just keep our guys in our gaps and just doing what we're supposed to do, we'll come out on top like we want as players. So.
Too little, like you said, we had opportunities to execute on some jobs, and we couldn't execute. That falls in place with pretty much the whole team. Really falls back on me, but, we did play good. We played hard, and we played physical, and, it's a lot more to come. We're a team. We're a family. It's not really nothing that's going to pull us apart. I mean, we all love each other to death, and, we come out here to play for the person next to us, so nothing's really going to break us apart inside the locker room. It's really probably outside the locker room and, the stuff that's going to be talked about.
Some of the Flames leaders offensively here today as they put up over 500 yards of offense themselves. Buckshot Calvert, 408 yards of passing, 5 touchdown passes. That ties a career high for him. Completion percentage probably wasn't where he wanted, 25 of 50 today, but still, you throw the ball 50 times. It's asking a lot out of your quarterback. Rushing-wise, Carrington Mosley, 7 yards per carry, and a big day for Antonio Gandy Golden at receiver. Also, B.J. Farrow, as Gandy Golden came away with 127 yards receiving and 126 for Farrow. The Flames went to their wideouts a ton in the second half. They had to. They were behind by a good bit there. Got it to within 10 points at one point, but too little too late, as we said, and the Flames come up on the short end. But Kevin, 4 straight losses now. Talking to some of the players after the game, guys are pretty determined to stay together, play for one another. How do you move on and get a win next week at Gardner-Webb?
Well, you don't have a choice. Next week's coming, and you've got to be there. You've got to show up, and you want to show up in the right attitude, the right frame of mind. And throughout this week, the players will pull together. They'll get ready to play Gardner-Webb, and they'll go down there to Boiling Springs and hopefully put on a good show and be able to stop this slide that they're on with these 4 games lost in a row and be able to finish out the season strong.
Got to be able to get off to a better start next week in Boiling Springs. That has been a place that has not been kind to the Flames in the past as well. But Liberty comes up on the short end here today, 56-39 in West Long Branch. The Flames are now 3-4 on the season. The Hawks continue to play well. They've now won 4 in a row. Monmouth 6-1 on the year. For Kevin Keys, my name is Nick Pierce for the Liberty Flames Sports Network.